Hello and welcome to Online Appliance Tech. Today on this GE jar, we're going to show you how to put it in diagnostic mode, displaying the arrows, and how to test each part with activating test mode, and also how to test each part with the multimeter. So let's get started. To place this in diagnostic mode, you'll hold the start button down and you'll turn the knob 7 clicks towards its right or its left, and then you'll let go of the start button. At this point, the display will start blinking 000 across. And once there, you'll turn the knob clockwise once, and number 1 will display, and you'll hit start, and this will display the error codes. And to display any additional error codes, just hit the start button. As you can see here, we only had one. So let's go over the error codes. Error code 1, inlet thermistor failure. This means that the thermistor reading is out of range. Error code 2, outer thermistor error. Error code 6, stuck button. Error code 7, miss wire. Error code 8, door latch stuck. Error code 9, dried load detection trip. Error code 10, empty drum detection trip. Error 11, blocked vent. Error 13, door switch signal stuck close. Error 14, door latch pulsing error. Error 15, door switch signal stuck open. Error 19, door latch lost in run. So I bet you ask yourself, what do these error codes mean, especially with the terminology they use? But don't worry, at the end of the video, I will leave like a chart with a explanation of each error code, and hopefully that'll help you. So up next is test mode displaying. In other words, we'll put the jar in test mode and test the part. So just turn the knob once over. This is test mode 2. We were just in test mode 1. You just turn the knob clockwise, go to each test. So test mode 2 will skip, test mode 3 will skip 2. This is just another, shows the software version. Same as test 4, you'll skip, not mess with that. Test 5 and 6 will also skip. There's just software, like here's a UI software, we won't mess with that. And test 7 will skip also. So test 8 is the outlet thermistor test. So this is the thermistor is checking the temperature. So it's the start button, and right here on the right you'll see 104. So this stands in Fahrenheit. So once the dryer turns on the flame itself, you'll hear it cut on. That means that the main board is sending a signal to the igniter, which you can know for sure that the igniter is working once it turns on. So there it is. So right now, since the heat is on, the thermistor will sense the heat, and this number here will rise. So this will tell you that the thermistor is corresponded and that it is working. So if this does not rise, it means you probably have a heat problem and so forth. So just turn the knob clockwise, get out to go to the next test. So test 9, inlet thermistor test, same concept. You'll hit the start button and then the temperature will start to rise. So we'll go to 9, hit start, and over here is the temperature. So once it turns on, you'll see the temperature will start to rise, and that, like I stated earlier, that will indicate that the thermistor is picking up the heat. Turn the knob once more. This is the moisture sensor test. So once again, you'll just hit the start button, and this will indicate the temperature of the moisture sensor, which is 49. Okay, to advance to the next test, you'll just turn the knob clockwise once, and then we're at test 11. Test 11 is door open and close test. So say if your dryer will not start, this would actually be a good test. So we'll press the start button first, and it says door is closed, which it is closed. So when we open the door, it should say D open, which means the door is open. So if it passes that test, that means your door is well. Okay, just turn the knob to go to the next test, which is test 12. This is door latch test. So the latch disabled test, open the door, press the start button. The control shows display LC for latch clear. Okay, then close the door, press the start button, and the control shall display LS for latch set. So up next is test 13. This test is to actually clear all error codes. So once you fix your machine, you can clear all the error codes for future. Test 14, this is the steam valve test. So if your valve's not working, this will be a great test. To exit test mode, just hit the power button. So up next in the video, we're going to show you how to test the parts with a multimeter and kind of give you an explanation of why they broke. So let's give it a shot. So right here is your thermal fuse, I guess you can call it a thermostat. So basically if this goes out, the dryer will not start because it does turn the motor off. So basically once this goes out, the motor will not start. And up next you have your two thermostats that sit on the burner housing. You have both of them here. So basically why these go out is because if the dryer cannot vent well, it will back up in the dryer through the drum and back to the burner housing, and it'll blow these fuses due to excessive heat. So we'll show you how to check these in a moment. This is a gas valve assembly. If you have a bad gas valve, usually it's, you smell a slight gas, or the dryer doesn't heat that well at all. And next we have the igniter here. If this thing is bad, it will basically will not heat at all. So you will hear the board click, which sends power to it, but we'll show you how to test that next. Right here you have the thermistor. This is the outlet thermistor, which reads the temperature. So it could be clothes not drying well enough issue. This is a cycling thermostat. So say if your dryer or your clothing is getting too hot, this could be your problem here. So yes, so the next part of the video we'll show you how to test with the multimeter. Definitely make sure you unplug it. If you're not comfortable, just get a technician to come out and do it for you. So if you have a multimeter, put it on the ohm settings, and then you should do a continuity check. Here's the part number. I will try to leave these in the description below. You should read anywhere from 0.5 to 5 ohm resistance. If you do read open line on any of these, that means you do have a defective part. So these both right here, if your dryer is not heating, that would be why. So those should not read open line. And up next we're going to test the igniter. So if this igniter is broken or cracked or open line is defective. So this should read anywhere between 59 to 70 ohms resistance. So if this reads open line on your multimeter, this means this is your problem and why your dryer will not heat. Up next is the cyclone thermostat. This should read anywhere from 0 to 5 ohms resistance when it's cold. Common problems when this is defective: your clothes will overheat or under dry. Up next is the thermostat. This is the thermostat for the out exhaust. If this fails, your motor will not turn on. It should read 0 to 5 ohms, and this is your thermistor. This reads around 26 k ohms, 24, 27 k ohms. So I hope this video was helpful, and please like this video if you enjoyed it, if it helped you in any way, and subscribe if you would like to see more future content like this. And here's the list that I promised you, and hopefully this will also help you out. Have a good day. Fault code 1, inlet thermistor failure. Definition: this error indicates that the thermistor's temperature readings are not within the expected range. Troubleshooting steps: verify thermistor functionality. Initially, examine the thermistor. If its readings deviate from the expected values, consider replacing it. Assess MPC connection. If the thermistor's readings are within the correct range, proceed to check whether the main power controller, MPC, is accurately registering the thermistor's temperature. If there's no temperature reading from the MPC, A. Check dryer heating. Ensure that the dryer is generating heat. A lack of heating could be the reason for the abnormal thermistor readings. B. Inspect for other issues. If the dryer is heating properly but the MPC still doesn't display the temperature, the problem might lie with the MPC itself, or there could be a short circuit in the wiring between the MPC and the thermistor. Fault code 2, outlet thermistor. Failure definition. This error indicates that the thermistor's temperature readings are not within the expected range. Troubleshooting steps. Verify thermistor functionality. Initially, examine the thermistor. If its readings deviate from the expected values, consider replacing it. Assess MPC connection. If the thermistor's readings are within the correct range, proceed to check whether the main power controller, MPC, is accurately registering the thermistor's temperature. if there's no temperature reading from the MPC. A. Check dryer heating. Ensure that the dryer is generating heat. A lack of heating could be the reason for the abnormal thermistor readings. B. Inspect for other issues. If the dryer is heating properly but the MPC still doesn't display the temperature, the problem might lie with the MPC itself, or there could be a short circuit in the wiring between the MPC and the thermistor. Fault code 6, stuck button error. Description: this error occurs when a button remains pressed for more than 1 minute, indicating a stuck button condition. Details: error logging. The system will log this issue as a stuck button if it detects that any button is depressed for longer than 1 minute. Implications: the appearance of this error suggests a potential short in the display or membrane pad. This malfunction may sometimes cause the machine to beep spontaneously. Error 7. Miswired L2 ART-N connection. Description: this error indicates that the L2, line 2, and N neutral wires are incorrectly wired. They have been swapped and need to be correctly reconnected. Error 8. Door latch stuck. Explanation: this error occurs if the door latch signal fails to open after 5 consecutive cycles, indicating a stuck door latch. Resolution steps. Initial action: inspect and, if necessary, replace the door switch and wiring harness to resolve the issue. Error 9. Dry load detection tripped. Definition: this error signifies that the dryer is failing to detect heat, which may imply an issue with the heating system. Troubleshooting steps: verify heating function. Confirm that the dryer is capable of generating heat by placing it in service mode and conducting a heating test. Error 10. Empty drum detection tripped. Description: this error occurs when the sensor rods fail to detect any weight in the drum, suggesting it is empty when it may not be. Solution: inspection and replacement. Examine the sensor rods and the wiring harness. Replace them if necessary to ensure proper detection of drum contents. Error 11. Blocked vent. Description: this error is triggered when the blocked vent algorithm detects no airflow, indicating a potential obstruction. Corrective actions: inspect ductwork. Examine the ductwork connecting the dryer to the wall to ensure it is not bent or clogged with lint. Dryer cleaning. It may also be necessary to clean the inside of the dryer to remove any internal blockages that could be affecting airflow. Error 13. Switch signal stuck closed. Description: this error is registered when the door latch signal fails to open after 5 consecutive cycles, indicating that the switch signal is persistently in the closed position. Troubleshooting steps: diagnostic action. Carefully inspect the door switch and its wiring harness for any malfunctions or damage. Corrective measure: if discrepancies are found during the inspection, proceed to replace the door switch and the wiring harness as required to rectify the issue. Error 14. Door latch pulsing. Error explanation: this error indicates a malfunction in the door switch circuit, characterized by erratic or pulsing signals. Resolution steps: assessment. Conduct a thorough examination of the door switch and its associated wiring harness. Repair or replacement. If defects are found within the door switch circuit or wiring harness, proceed to replace these components as needed to resolve the issue. Error 15. Door switch signal stuck open. Explanation: this error indicates a malfunction in the door switch circuit characterized by erratic or pulsing signals. Resolution steps: assessment. Conduct a thorough examination of the door switch and its associated wiring harness. Repair or replacement. If defects are found within the door switch circuit or wiring harness, proceed to replace these components as needed to resolve the issue. Error 19. Door latch lost in run. Definition: this error signifies that the dryer experiences a loss of power during run mode, attributable to an insufficient power supply from the main control board. Corrective actions. Initial step: Ensure that the issue is consistently occurring and not a one-time event. Replacement. If the problem persists, proceed to replace the main control board to restore proper functionality.